Good morning. We're out here. We're gonna actually start putting metal on today. And we got 3 people, me, Courtney, Gary. And it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. So we have to put the bubble wrap up first. We can't get our shoes muddy. It's really muddy mess today. And then the metal is pretty heavy. So 1 guy on the roof, 2 guys on the ground. And we're gonna see if we can get some metal up.
Okay. And shout out to my mom who came over to watch the boys, because normally we can just let them run around while we're doing stuff and it's no problem. But today I wanted to be more focused on the barn and not worried about them and their safety, which I need to be able to focus on James and my dad's safety today while we're putting the metal up. So anyway, that's what we're doing. He's taking up the bubble wrap insulation.
How do Mexicans do this? That's a good question.
Oh goodness, this doesn't look like this is gonna be easy.
I forgot my belt.
Do not put the bubble wrap up that way. We figured out a much easier way to do it, which we'll show you here in a minute. But the first time we thought, oh, we'll just walk it up the roof. No, it's way harder that way. The easiest way is to actually put the roll at the top, at the peak of the barn, and just roll it down. It's so much easier. And we started measuring and cutting them to length before taking them up there. That way we didn't have to make any cuts up top, and that worked so much easier.
So we got the first piece of bubble wrap on and the first piece of metal on. And let me tell you, putting the bubble wrap on up there with the giant roll, absolutely not. It almost falls in between your boards and it's just heavy and it's just dangerous. So what we're gonna do is measure, and I'm gonna cut it down here, and then we'll walk it up each time and put the bubble wrap on, and then walk it up and put the next piece of metal on. Plus, these pieces of metal are just so daggone long. Just with my dad and I, it's kind of difficult to get them up there, but we got it up there, so I'm gonna call it a success. There it is, first piece of metal's up. We had to come over here and look at the top of the horse barn because we actually could not remember what the pattern was for the screws. So anyway, this is what it looks like, and we're gonna duplicate that over on the top of our barn. So I'm actually up here. I just brought James up the level. Babe, what are you doing with that level?
I am using it to make sure I lay out my screws properly because we only have 1.5 inches to hit. So I already missed 1 hole, first sheet.
It's okay. Yeah, because unlike the house where we had 2x4s going flat, like we do over there on top of the lean-to, over here they're upright, so you only have 1.5 inches to hit with that screw. And we just lost a screw. So we got the next piece of bubble wrap cut to put that up, and what James ended up having us do is added 6 inches to the length of metal. So the metal is 21 feet and 4 inches, so we made the length of the bubble wrap 21 feet and 10 inches, so it has 6 inches of wiggle room. And James has been up there putting in screw after screw after screw. He's putting 5 in each row. How far are you offsetting them by? 2 feet or?
The screws?
Yeah.
1 after every rib.
1 after every rib, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a pretty good system down and we're going faster now. So the width of the bubble wrap is definitely wider than the width of the metal roofing, so we don't have to put bubble wrap up every time we put a piece of metal up. But it's coming along nicely, and my dad and I definitely figured out that if you pick up the metal on each side, not on the long ends, but on the sides, and fold it like a taco, it's way easier to carry and it doesn't bend in the middle. So we got about, I don't know, almost a quarter done. Still got a long ways to go, but we're getting her done. great success. We got, I'd say, almost half of the roof done on this side. Definitely labor intensive, but we're gonna take a break, go eat some lunch, and then come back. Babe, what do you have to say about the process thus far?
Well, it's a little time consuming, but we're getting her. I
Yeah.
put a couple dents in the metal. That's the only thing I'm upset about. It's hard to grab the metal and walk it up there. I can't see my footing.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
It's heavy. So.
Yeah, twice when you can see in the video where my dad and I have to push the metal up to him. I'm up on the girts on the side of the barn, and my dad's down in the mud, and we push it up to him, and James is grabbing hold of the metal, and he of course is pulling it up. Well, when he's walking backwards on the roof, pulling it up, twice he accidentally stepped on the ridge and the roof and kind of dented it in. I mean, not the end of the world, but obviously he's a perfectionist and wants the roof to be perfect, so we're just trying to be as careful as we can to prevent that, but sometimes it's inevitable, and I'd much rather him be safe in stepping than trying to be more careful to not step on those and slide and fall off the roof. So anyway, it looks great though. You can see it from here. We're gonna get something to eat and then we'll get back at it.
Just woke up from a nap. We're fed and ready to work.
He didn't take a nap, but we did eat and we're ready to get more done. And the boys are over here and they are running around, having fun. Making tons of progress. Man, this looks great. Okay, I'm changing the camera angle this time, and I'm gonna actually record this in normal speed instead of a time lapse, so you can see how my dad and I get that piece of metal up. Ideally, you would want 4 people to do this. It'd be a lot easier, but we're able to make it work with 3 people, and I am not strong, so really I'm considered like half a person. Anyway, my dad stays at the bottom, gets underneath it. I get up on the girts, and I use one hand to kind of feed it up to James. He grabs it, and then all 3 of us push it up together.
We're almost to the end.
I know.
Yeah. Quite an accomplishment.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Okay, Dad, you ready?
Ready?
Unfortunately, we put it up too high again. Yep, we're gonna have to go down about 4 inches, Dad.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Okay, a little bit more. All right, start going up with it.
You ready?
Yep, freeze, good. Hold it right there. 1, 2, 3, up, freeze. I got it. Don't move.
Go in.
Okay, going all the way up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, he's got it. Great job. Okay, right on the money, babe. Good. And that's it. Not bad. The hardest part is when you're pushing the metal up, because I'm only on one side. When I pull my side out, it makes the other side of the metal push in, and that metal likes to get caught on those girts when you're pushing it up. And when my dad pushes, he pushes pretty hard. Sometimes it actually drives it into the board ahead of it, like a 1/4 of an inch. So we gotta pull it back down. So it's, when I'm pushing it up, it's good to pull it away from the barn and then pull it up. That way that corner, when I make it cattywampus, doesn't get stuck on the board ahead of it. But that's it, it works pretty well with just 3 people. And this is how we put up the bubble wrap insulation. Perfect. Now, the secret is to roll it out on top of the existing roof so it doesn't fall down in the holes in between the boards. And to roll it fast. because if the wind blows, it'll take it. So you got to get it some speed so it rolls down all in one motion. Go! Yay! That's it! Then you line it up. Got 2 inches of overlay. Line it up how you want it, babe. And then I hold it while he gets some staples in, because even the slightest breeze just takes this thing away. And that's it. There's a hump up here, and it's because that corner bracing. This one right here, it's actually sticking up. So James is going to cut off the top with the Sawzall. And this is what the metal roofing looks like up top. Top of this bubble wrap is silver. The underneath is like a white color. And the roof is white. Okay, so we just got the last pieces of the bubble wrap up there. So now we just need to get the last 2, maybe 3 pieces of metal on top of it. So we'll finish that up, and then this side of the roof of the barn will be done. I can't believe it. We got half the roof on. That complete side of the barn is done. It looks incredible, and we did it with just 3 people. Now, James did not put all of the screws in when we were doing it, just to save time. We don't have to have all of us here, obviously, for him to put the screws in, so he'll put the rest of the screws in later, but that looks amazing. And this is what the boys are doing to stay content. Woohoo! They've been climbing on these things for a couple hours. Is that fun, Levi? Good. This is the roof from this side. Looks amazing.